You know that feeling you get that someone's watching? It sounds like something straight out of a spy thriller, right? But what if I told you the real story is so much bigger and way more personal than any movie? This is the story of how the most powerful surveillance system in history was built, right under our noses.
So, where does this story even begin? Not in some secret underground government bunker. No, it starts right here, with this little device you carry everywhere you go, the one you're probably watching this on right now. See, we think of our phones as, just a tool for calls and texts. But in reality, it's become a silent witness to our lives, a tiny spy that documents almost everything we do, a lot of the time without us having a clue.
Okay, let's start with the obvious. It knows exactly where you are, all the time. It uses GPS, Wi-Fi, even cell towers to pinpoint your location. And that data isn't just for your map app. Oh no. It's collected, it's bundled up, and it's sold, creating this incredibly detailed map of your life, your commute, your doctor's visits, everything. And it doesn't just know where you go, it knows what you think. Your deepest curiosities, your biggest fears, all of it. Every single thing you type into that search bar, every article you click, every video you watch, it's all logged, building a profile of your mind. And here's where it gets kind of creepy. Tech companies swear they aren't actively listening. But how many times have you just talked about something and then, bam, an ad for it pops up? The mic is always on, just waiting for that wake word. And sometimes you gotta wonder what else it's hearing. So this is the big question, isn't it? How did this happen? How did this amazing piece of technology we all bought for convenience turn into the single most important tool for a global surveillance network? Well, I can tell you this much. It was no accident. The groundwork for all of this was laid decades ago, way, way before the first iPhone ever hit the shelves. It all started back in 1952 with the top secret creation of the NSA. But the real game changer? 2001. After the 9/11 attacks, the Patriot Act blew the doors wide open, giving the government incredible new powers to watch and listen. And for over a decade, most of us had no idea just how big it had gotten, until a man named Edward Snowden decided to show the world. And a huge piece of the puzzle was a program with a truly chilling code name, Stellar Wind. It was top secret, authorized just after 9/11, and it let the NSA scoop up emails, phone records, and internet histories of Americans, all without a warrant. This was it. This was the moment the government legally started listening in on its own people on a massive, massive scale. But here's the thing. The government couldn't have done it by themselves. They needed a partner that had, conveniently, already built a perfect machine for collecting data on billions of people. They needed Silicon Valley. And this is wild. What you're looking at is based directly on a leaked NSA slide. It outlines a program called PRISM. This program basically gave the NSA a direct pipeline into the servers of the biggest tech companies in the world. Just look at those names: Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Apple, the very companies that built our digital lives. If you want to know what the attitude was like behind the scenes, this quote says it all. Turns out, the NSA was secretly tapping into the private connections between Google's own data centers. And the internal NSA slide celebrating this? It had a little hand-drawn smiley face on it. It's just this casual, almost playful detail about a truly mind-blowing invasion of privacy. So you have to understand, Silicon Valley's entire business model is built on collecting your data. They made the most efficient, human monitoring machine in history, all so they could sell you stuff more effectively. They built the perfect prison. The government just had to ask for the keys. So what happens now? What happens when you take all that data, trillions of data points, and you feed it into powerful artificial intelligence? Well, you get the next frontier of surveillance. You get systems that don't just watch, they predict, they judge. And this is taking us down two very different but equally scary paths. On one side, you have predictive policing, algorithms that tell cops where crime is likely to happen, often just reinforcing existing biases against certain neighborhoods. And on the other, you have social credit scores, a system that gives you a trust score based on, well, everything. A low score could mean you can't get a loan, a job, or even a plane ticket. 35%. Just look at that number for a second. 35%. In this new world of automated control, what do you think that number represents? That's the error rate for some of the leading facial recognition AIs when they try to identify women with darker skin. And let me be clear, this is not a theoretical problem. This has led to real people, innocent people, being wrongfully arrested because an algorithm made a mistake. The human cost is terrifyingly real. So, where do we go from here? The hard truth is, we're living in a world that was built on a series of trade-offs. Bargains that, for the most part, we all made together, whether we realized it or not. Just think about it. We wanted the convenience of a smartphone in our pocket. We wanted the connection of social media. And after a national tragedy, we wanted security. And to get all that, we gave away little pieces of our data, clicking I agree on contracts we never bothered to read. And now, all that data has taken on a life of its own. It's the defining bargain of our time. We traded our privacy for convenience, for a life that's easier and more connected than ever before. And now we're left with one single, massive question we all have to answer for ourselves. Was it worth the price?